Is it a swarm or is it a cutout? I don't know. Let's go find out together. Well, hey there everyone, it's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Welcome back to Southeast Louisiana. We have a little adventure. Yep, a little adventure. You remember that swarm I caught? It's still in the swarm box. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta prioritize things sometimes. And that wasn't a priority. Trying to get through all the colonies in the last few weeks. But there's been a bit of a slowdown, and I'll explain that in a minute. Show you a couple other things, and then we'll get busy seeing, is this truly going to be a simple swarm removal from a box, or will it be a cutout? I know at a minimum it's going to be a cutout from the bottom of the frames. We're going to have to cut comb from the bottom of the frame, so I will bring rubber bands and I will bring some frames because I've let them go that long and I don't want to waste that comb if at all possible. But did they crisscross and do any wonky comb? I don't know. I used starter strips. I glanced in there when I first got it here and it looked straight, but I don't know. I left it at that and moved on. You know, they were doing good, so I just left them alone. So anyway, it is April the 2nd, afternoon of, and I'm going to take care of this box of bees and show you a couple other things. Here's one of the things I want to show you guys, and I explained it in another video about our tallow. This is the tree that gives us such a huge honey harvest. As the leaves were coming out, it froze, and of course it froze the tips and broke it. But it's alive. Of course, you can't kill these things. You scratch back, and of course you got good green flesh in there. So they're alive, but nobody knows what they're going to do. We've never really seen the tallow be frozen out like this. We've seen the privet frozen out, but if you look close, there's not even, you know, some of them have nodes. They're about to bloom and some don't. So I see this. So I see that node right there. But I'm not sure what it's going to do. Look at my beautiful irises. I got all different colors out here, but they're getting ready to bloom. Here we go, folks. So we're going to move it, put the bottom board in, put a box here, a little bit of comb to it, nice new box for them. Take these out, we might need these. I usually use boxes for swarm traps, but since I got hands on these, I use them, but I got to remember when I use them, unload them soon. Jason from Bohemia Bees got this Hive Life Before Last. I hope these are nice bees because I really don't want to put my suit on. It's an absolutely beautiful 80, 81. It was 65 this morning, absolutely gorgeous. And I just want to enjoy this weather. Since we don't have a bunch of bees to go through, we're hoping that these bees are nice to us. All right, we don't have any cattywampus comb. It looks straight. We like that. But I do know we're going to have comb built to the bottom. That's for certain. So is it stuck together or is it not? The front one usually isn't as bad, so let's check that one first. Praise the Lord, that one's not. Now this is all starter strips, guys. All starter strips. Look at that pretty wax. It's yellow. Like a little bit of pollen and bee bread. This side is loaded with brood. It's already loaded, but let me look for a queen before I put it in here. I'm glad to see it's not built down on this first one. Once you get the first one out, it's usually pretty simple. So this will be a outside the nest frame. I'm gonna slide it right under here. Just like so. Boom. It'd be nice if the rest were like that, but I don't think they will be. The front is usually the last one they seem to build out because that's where an entrance is. So that has proven to be true on this one, which is a good thing. It's not true all the time. Now, that brings me to what I always tell you guys. This is not a how-to video because this is not the way to do a swarm box. You get this thing hanging on a tree, you get bees, you see pollen, pull it down, bring it home, move it. Hey, priorities were other bees right now. I mean, they were alive, so I didn't want to, you know, it wasn't like the worst thing could have happened is they swarmed because they were doing good otherwise. So why, you know, if I don't have the time to do them properly, don't do them at all. Yeah, the bottom now is tied together. I think we're going to see a problem here. When I start ripping comb, they're probably going to get ornery. Yep, it's going to be an issue. Oh, we didn't tear it up too bad. Okay, good. First thing I'm going to do is inspect for the queen over this box, because I don't want to lay this frame down until I know she's not on here. And then what I'll do is lay it down and cut it off carefully. See how that's curved? So it really didn't tear it up too bad. But I'm going to try and save that. My main goal is to find the queen so I don't hurt her. I might need to get a queen clip to catch her. I don't see her on here. So what I'll do is carefully, so as not to squash a lot of bees, but I want to squash them. There we go. Now I can lay it down. Problem is you can't lay it too flat because that's free. It's free hanging comb in there. But what I want to do is carefully. Don't really need a knife. It's so tender right now. It's so fresh. Okay. Lay it real easy. Okay, I'm gonna put this one in here. I'm gonna have to reverse them all when I get them in here. Push this one in. Let me go get a queen clip just in case. I'm gonna shut y'all off and come right back. And I'm back with this. It's so soft. It is 80 degrees outside, guys. This is what makes me nervous when I look down and see this. I don't know if you noticed that comb down there is crossed among the bottoms. I've already ripped some of it off, so it crisscrosses. That's gonna foul things up. Once again, it's how I do, not a how-to. Obviously, don't do this. Look at the skink. The skink is eating bees. Look, he got him a bee. This skink's got to eat too, right? Look at his lips. Okay, gonna have to save some of that. I'm gonna have to get some in the frame. I can't just let that go to waste.
Not the best, but we saved it anyway. That's what's important. I have to do one more rubber band frame. Look at that. Looks like we'll get that one off pretty easy, but oh, you know there's bound to be a queen in here somewhere, huh? Sure don't want to injure her because she is laying up this colony good. So let's see how we're going to lay this down without damaging them too much and making them very mad. Oh yeah, they're getting ready to eat me up now. But we're gonna get it done. That got them moving. I have a feeling I've got the queen in here somewhere, and they are not happy now. I'm gonna watch carefully, make sure we don't have her squashed. I searched and did not see her. I don't know. I'm searching this one too. I'll get this in here for now. I did not see her. I searched high and low for her, but it doesn't mean anything. It means nothing that I didn't see her. That's that one crevice I couldn't look in. So now to get this comb is a little thicker. I don't see any smashed bees. I don't see a queen. Let's put it in here and see what we can determine if we can. So we're going to probably end up with about 3 frames. Still don't see her, so maybe she. Got to look under that other piece, but. Alright, that's gonna have to work. I'm just looking, make sure I don't see any dead bees and any squashed queens, so that's a good thing. We want a straight comb in between the cutout comb, that I do know. And I know it's not a how-to, but that's worked best for me. Because if you don't, they'll start building up some crazy stuff. I need to double check under here. Make sure I have not. No. So she wasn't in that cracker crevice, that's good. I'm gonna save this, but there's not enough to add with it, so let's get rid of this one. So that's not too bad. We didn't lose a bunch. starting to get a little bit irritated with me. I'm cutting up their comb and tearing their house up. I got one really good frame I'm gonna give them. That's a full box, man. Wow, they're gonna need a second deep. Sometimes these swarms, if you get them, this was a pretty early one, not super early, but they'll produce you some honey. And this one here has got that potential for sure. This frame in here, we're just gonna hope we transferred the queen. I'm not gonna go back through and look for her. They've been disturbed enough. I'm gonna dump these bees out over top of it, and then we're gonna call it a day. We'll come back another day and check to see that we did not harm the queen. I was very careful looking for her on those combs before I laid them down. Just very, very diligent and just looking and searching and giving them a second look each. And surely don't want to harm her. So let me do this, and then we can get them closed up. They're starting to orient on it now. Hey, you remember that swarm in the tree that was so big? Check it out. Yeah. That's them. That was a good swarm. The thing's got 6 frames filled. Look at this thing. Look at them oriented now. Wow. These are the nukes I made. Had to put fondant on this when it had nothing, and they started getting robbed when there was some honey in there. So taboo putting fondant on in the summer, but I cut it in such a way that the plastic laid on the bottom so it could go in, and it worked just fine. It didn't melt down on or anything. They've eaten it, and then I ended up finally getting some honey in there yesterday. So they're set, but that one frame is already, you can see there's already bees emerging. You know, the virgins all emerged out of 6, 7 of them. And then 2 more I introduced already unmated queens. Let me read it. I introduced queens that had emerged from their cells, and I put them in and direct released them only a couple hours after I'd made the nukes. I don't know how those turned out yet, but all the ones I put cells in, all of them emerged. Now, did they get out and get mated? That's the other question. We'll know in another week, but that's the nukes I made. Well, there you are, folks. We got them settled. I don't think we hurt the queen. We'll find out in a few days. I was very diligent to watch for her on those bottom combs. Not a how-to, guys. Don't do what I do. Get that thing out of there as soon as you can. I know better. I had to prioritize. Priority was getting these colonies
and keeping them in the boxes. You know, honestly, the worst thing that would happen was what happened. So I wasn't really sweating it. I hate to do that, but I saved the majority of combs, so that's good. Happy about that. Seemed like a good colony. We shall see. Never had bees from over there. We're going to find out. They're in the general vicinity of here, but definitely a few miles away. So only time will tell. But it's a beautiful, gorgeous Sunday afternoon after church. What a beautiful creation we live in, and just thankful for it. Thankful that I'm able to do this. Thankful I'm able to work with God's creation. And it was just a beautiful afternoon. Just the weather's gorgeous. Last night I went to get a swarm box out of the woods. And y'all will see the video of the transfer and all that, but I hope y'all enjoyed this little video, a little update on the swarm we caught out of the tree, update on the swarm trap, getting it moved over, let you see what my nukes look like. Hey, the weather is beautiful, but it's going to get hot soon. But we're kind of at the point now we're just putting supers on. I've got everything supered up, so you know, the weather and what has happened with the flow, we don't know. Only time will tell. You know, you take the good with the bad. We made a huge harvest last season. Who knows if that's what's going to have to carry us through part of this season because of what's happened. I don't know. It's just like any other agriculture. And you know, I may have to individually feed some of these bees into their top deeps and hope that the flow comes in after I get them in those top deeps. I can't open feed right now because I got too many supers already on. So we'll have to see. Only time will tell. But hey, it's one of those things. As far as queen acceptance or queen getting mated, excluding the nukes, of course, we haven't checked those. But on all the splits, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Very happy with that. So my goal is always to have queens laying by the beginning of April, which we did. Some are a couple days ahead of others, but for the most part, everybody's got eggs in the beginning of April. That gives us a month and a half should the tallow come in, as we're hoping it will, but it may not. But in the end, it's always my goal is to have queens laying by the beginning of April. When I did emergency cells via like a walkaway split, they wouldn't be laying until the 15th, which means they wouldn't have the first bees emerging until the first week of May, and that's just too late for the flow that happens middle of May. This way, the first bees will be emerging between 15th and 20th, which gives us almost a month of solid laying for her to build up the force. So timing is everything, and that's what I did when I switched over to this management strategy a few years ago, and I'm happy I did it. But now we just have to have the flow. We do what we can. We bring our bees to the points we need to bring them to and the benchmarks we need to make as best we can, and then from there on out, it's up to the flow. You know, Lord willing, we will have a good one. If he's not willing, we'll count our blessings anyway and keep on going forward. That's what we'll do. That's what we always do. That's what we do in life. So anyway, once again, just appreciate you watching. Appreciate all your support as always. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and may God bless you. We will see y'all later.